everyone, I'm Erin with 5 Parks Yoga. I'm so thrilled that you could join me today. Today's class combines the energizing flow of vinyasa with the calming, deep stretches of Yin Yoga. This class aims to enhance your strength, flexibility, and overall relaxation. Before we dive in, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of my wonderful YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Your contributions are what enable 5 Parks Yoga to consistently produce new classes, and your support means the world to us. If you'd like to learn more about how you can support 5 Parks Yoga, visit 5parksyoga.com/support. A big thank you to all of my subscribers as well. If you're not already a subscriber, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified the instant a new class is published, click the bell icon as well. And please remember to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below so YouTube knows you enjoyed this class and would like to see more similar content. For those interested in practicing with me in person, I invite you to join me at one of my upcoming summer workshops in Colorado or retreats in Costa Rica. You can find all the details and dates on my website, 5parksyoga.com. All right, let's begin our class. Find a comfortable seated position and let's take a moment to focus on our breath. So lift through the crown of your head, roll your shoulders up, back, and down away from your ears. Have your eyes closed or comfortably resting on a place out in front of you that's unmoving. We're going to take 5 breaths seated. Nice long inhale, fill all the way up, and then a comfortable pause at the top. And then a controlled, slow exhale. With a comfortable pause at the bottom. 4 more, just like that. So as you take these last 2 breaths in this seated position, set an intention for your practice. You came to your mat for a reason. What is that reason? Can you name it to yourself? And then after you finish your last breath in the seated position, we're going to move right up to standing and get into the vinyasa portion of our class. So I'll meet you on your feet at the front of your mat. So come into Tadasana, spread your toes wide, feet at hip distance apart, engage through your quads, engage through your glutes, engage through your abs, your core, and then a comfortable lift at the top of your head and slight tuck of your chin. Arms are long beside your body with your palms facing out. On your next breath in, lift your arms up overhead, connect the palms of your hands, and then bring them through heart center as you exhale. Circle them down and around. Inhale, bring your arms up, connect the palms of your hands above your head, look up. And then exhale, bring your hands through heart center. And then one more time together. Inhale, bring your arms up, connect the palms of your hands, look up. And then bring that energy that you're collecting through heart center. Shine your palms forward as you reach your fingertips down. Inhale, bring your arms up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind your back. We're gonna come into a chest expansion. So interlace your hands, lift your chest, now lift your chin, look up. And then as you exhale, bend your legs, come down, forward fold, bring your torso towards your thighs and your hands up and over the back of your head. So we're expanding through our heart center, our shoulders. You're getting a nice elongation in the back side of your body. You can start to straighten your legs a little bit more, getting a hamstring stretch here as well. And then on your next breath in, release your hands, come up to a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, standing forward fold, Uttanasana. So from here, you can start to work on that hamstring stretch, elongating the back of your legs as you reach your hands down toward the floor, the crown of your head reaching down toward your mat. On your next breath in, come up to one more halfway lift. On your breath out, standing forward fold. Now plant your hands, step back to a high plank pose, and we're gonna hold high plank pose here, engaging the core, ramping up the breath. Feet are in line with your hips, shoulders are directly over your wrists, fingers spread nice and wide. Your gaze should be past your fingertips toward the front of your mat. And then feel your pubic bone reaching down toward your mat, engaging the whole front line of your core. All of your abdominal muscles working together. Check in with your quadriceps, the tops of your legs, your thighs. Make sure that they're nice and tight. Remember, you can always modify or change this plank position by bringing your knees down to the floor. And then we're just gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1. Now shift forward, bringing your shoulders past your wrists, coming onto your toes. Bend your elbows, graze your ribs, come all the way down onto your stomach, tops of your feet flat to the floor. As you breathe in, come up to low lift cobra. As you breathe out, lower down. As you breathe in, come up to medium lift cobra. You can slide your hands a little bit further back, and then coming all the way up towards your belly button. And then exhale, come all the way down. Now we're gonna come up to high lift cobra. So bring your hands a little bit further back, press all the way up. So your feet and your shins are still on the floor. You're stretching now the front line of your body. Bring your chin to your right shoulder. Bring your chin to your left shoulder. Look forward, bring your chin to your chest. Bring your head back to neutral. And then from here, tuck your toes under and then come up to upward facing dog. So you're gonna lift your knees up off the floor with your toes tucked and then press back to downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths in downward facing dog, taking any movements that feel good in your body. You can pedal out your legs, you can shift your heels side to side, you can lift your heels high and then release them down to the floor. You can shake out your head. These are all just options available to you at any time in downward facing dog. Complete your last exhale here. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up, step forward behind your wrists. We're gonna come into warrior 1. So plant your left heel down, rise up to warrior 1, bend in your front leg, press out through the outer edge of your back heel. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, plant your hands on the floor, step back to high plank pose, lower to chaturanga. Knees on or off the floor. Inhale, press up to upward facing dog and press back to downward facing dog. Now lift your left leg up, step forward behind your wrists, lower your back heel to the floor for warrior 1. Feet are at hip distance apart. Lift your fingertips up, lower your shoulders down, square your hips toward the front of the mat as best as you can. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands back to your mat. Step back, high plank pose, lower chaturanga. Press up to upward facing dog and press back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Look towards your hands, step, walk, or float to the front of your mat. Come into standing forward fold as you breathe out. Rise up to tall mountain as you breathe in. Cactus your arms as you breathe out. Inhale, tall mountain as you breathe in. Exhale, standing forward fold. On your next breath in, come up to a halfway lift. Standing forward fold, plant your hands, step back, high plank pose. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Lift your right leg up. Step forward, coming into warrior one. Plant your back heel down. Lift up for warrior one. Now we're gonna come into humble warrior. So take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Press your fists down as you lift your chest up, lift your chin up, and then bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. We're gonna take one full breath here. Looking back towards your back foot. Complete your exhale. As you come up, release your hands, sweep them up, coming back to warrior one. And then as you breathe out, come into warrior two. You might have to elongate your stance a little bit. Keep that back heel planted on the floor. You're opening your body to the side now. Look towards your front fingertips. As you breathe in, let's come into reverse triangle. So straighten your front leg, slide your left hand down your left leg, stretch through your right side as you reach up and back, and then exhale, triangle pose. Bringing your right hand towards your shin or the floor, your left hand up toward the ceiling. Look up toward your left fingertips. Roll your left shoulder and left hip into one line so the side of your body is open all the way up. And then as you inhale, let's come back to reverse triangle. Just stretch up and back, and then exhale, circle your arms down all the way to a low lunge position. Step back to high plank, lower to chaturanga. Breathe in as you press up to upward facing dog. Breathe out as you press back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, step it forward. Plant your back heel down, come up to warrior one. Look up towards your fingertips. And then sweep your arms behind your back. We're coming into humble warrior. Press your fists down as you interlace your fingers, open your chest, lift your chin, and then bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee for humble warrior. Look back towards your back foot. Take a full breath here. As you come up, release your hands, square those hips as you reach up to warrior one. And then open to warrior two. You might have to elongate your stance here. Back heel remains planted. Your hips and shoulders are now open to the side. Breathe into reverse triangle. So straighten your left leg. Right hand slides down your right leg. Left arm reaches up and back. You're opening through your left side. And then preparing for triangle pose. Reaching that left hand forward. And then down toward your shin or the mat. Reach your right arm up. And see if you can look up toward your fingertips, challenging your balance a little bit here. Use your core as you lift back to reverse triangle. And then return to low lunge, circling your arms down, lifting your back heel up. Step back, high plank. Shift forward and lower chaturanga. Straighten those arms as you press up to upward facing dog. And then use your core as you press back to downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Lift your right leg up. Step forward, preparing for warrior one. Plant your heel. Rise up, warrior one. Reach your hands behind you for humble warrior. Press your fists down, lift your chin up, look up, and then bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Look back toward the back of your mat. Big sweeping motion as you release your hands, rise up, returning to warrior one, and then open to the side for warrior two. Reverse triangle, straighten your right leg, reach up and back, and then shift forward for triangle pose. Maybe look up toward your left hand. Reverse triangle. Stretch up and back. You're using your core this whole time to make these motions, and then come down to low lunge. We're gonna make our way to side plank. So stack your right foot on top of your left, reach your right arm up, and again, maybe you look up toward those fingertips, challenging your balance, holding here for 3, 2, 1, and then roll through chaturanga. So high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Continuing to breathe deeply and fully wherever you are, in whatever posture you're doing. Remember to come back to that breath. So let's continue on with the left leg. So lift your left leg up, step forward, plant your right heel down. Warrior 1, lift your arms up, sweep your arms behind your back for humble warrior. Interlace your fingers, press your fists down. Open your chest, look up, lift your chin, humble warrior. Bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee, look back toward your right foot, and then big sweeping motion. Come all the way up, release your hands, reach them up to warrior 1, and then open up to warrior 2. Reverse triangle, straighten that left leg, reach up and back, and then prepare for triangle pose. Reach your left arm forward, down toward your shin or the mat, right arm comes up. Full inhale as you lift up and back for reverse triangle. Low lunge, circle your arms down, lift your right heel, and we're gonna come to side plank. Stack your left foot on top of your right. Lift your left arm up, maybe look up toward your left fingertips, and you're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1. And then bring your left hand down, come to high plank, lower chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. We're gonna do one more series of flow with some balancing before we move into our yin portion of the class. So let's continue on with the flow that we've established. Lift your right leg up. You're gonna step forward for warrior 1. Plant your heel down, rise up. Breathe in, warrior 1. Breathe out, hands interlace at low back. Puff up your chest in preparation for humble warrior. Bend forward, right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Rise up to warrior 1. Exhale to warrior 2. Inhale to reverse triangle. And this time on our exhale, if you'd like to balance, you can return to triangle pose, or you can come to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. You're gonna hold here for 3, and 2, and 1. Let's all meet in reverse triangle pose. Exhale to low lunge. Inhale to standing splits. Exhale to Jiva squat. Come to standing splits. And then you're gonna sweep your left leg through. See if you can do it without touching the floor and come to standing staff. So arms reach up, leg comes to 90, or you can straighten it. And then we're gonna make our way to standing pigeon. So left ankle over right knee, hands come to your heart. Sink down into a chair. Take one more full breath here. Come back up to standing staff pose. Now you're gonna sweep that leg all the way back and through to low lunge, planting your foot and your hands at the same time if you can. Let's return to side plank, right foot on left, right arm up, and then roll to high plank through chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Let's do some balancing poses on the left side. So lift your left leg up, step forward, warrior 1, rise up, look up. Prepare for humble warrior, hands behind your back, press your fists down, lift your chest and open your chest, lift your chin, and then humble warrior. Bow down, look back. Warrior 1 is your big breath in, lift and expand, and then exhale, warrior 2. Reverse triangle. Okay, and remember here you can return to triangle, or if you'd like to balance, you can come to half moon pose, balancing on your left leg, stacking your hips, reaching your right arm up toward the ceiling, and holding here for 3 and 2 and 1. We're all gonna meet in reverse triangle with a light landing from half moon. Reverse triangle, breathe into your left side, and then exhale, low lunge. Side plank, left foot to right, left arm reaches up. Maybe you look up. As you breathe in, lift your hips. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And back to downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna do one more power pose before we come to our more passive yin portion of class. So look toward your hands, step, walk, or float through to a seat, and all the way to boat pose, Navasana. Lift your feet, lift your hands, lift your chest, and hold here. Keep your gaze up, past your toes. Remember, you can have your legs bent or straight. You can hold on to the backs of your thighs. Just keep your chest open. Okay, keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now bring your knees into your chest, roll onto your back, and take a Shavasana shape. So extend your legs long, arms by your side. Close your eyes. Now, big breath in, belly, fill up your belly, ribs, chest, pause, big open mouth exhale. From here, return to the natural rhythm of your breath. So during the yin portion of our class, we're not going to be as focused on a powerful breath. You're going to focus more on what your breath is doing. If you're holding, if you're panting, breathing fast, breathing slow. And then our ultimate goal is just to keep those breaths long and steady. And just notice, okay? All right, so in yin, we're gonna be holding our postures for a longer amount of time, just allowing the deep layers of fascia and muscle and tendons to soften and open up. So we wanna have a soft mind as we practice these postures. So go ahead and gather your knees to your chest and then roll all the way up. We're gonna start in puppy pose. So come onto your knees, stack your hips over your knees, and then it's going to be like a child's pose shape, but you're gonna keep your hips high. It's also called heart melting pose. So you can walk your hands forward and wide, and then bring your chest and your chin down to your mat. And you can stay here, opening your throat, or you can place your forehead on your mat. And I would like you to return to your intention. So the intention that you set at the very beginning of your practice. See if that is still resonating for you. Notice your breath. And just notice what's happening here in your body as you hold this big, expansive heart opener. Okay, and we're gonna hold puppy pose for 1 more minute. Continue to just come back to the breath and just notice the breath as you hold the pose. Can you be fully aware of what's happening in your mind, your body, your breath? Okay, we're gonna transition out of puppy pose, so just walk your hands back. Rest your hips on your heels. Rest your hands on your thighs, close your eyes. We're just gonna take one breath together here, just to reset. Okay. The next pose we're gonna take is seal pose. It's a big frontline opener. We're gonna hold it for 3 minutes. So let's set up for seal. It's a little bit different than cobra. Your hands are wider, your fingers face out like a 45-degree angle. You're gonna have your arms straight. And just like high cobra, you're gonna release your hips and your thighs down toward the floor. You're gonna press your chest through and lift your chin. Okay, so this is seal pose. Okay, we're gonna hold here for 3 minutes, and you can just keep your eyes soft, or you can close them. Sometimes closing your eyes brings your focus internal so that you can pay attention to what's happening in your body. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. Keep breathing, keep focusing. Notice your body. What's happening in your body? So one thing that's happening in your body is you're opening the whole front line. You're building some strength and stamina with your arms and shoulders. You're building flexibility in your spine. Building some strength in your glutes. So those things are happening in your body. What's happening with your breath in your mind? Okay, we're a little more than halfway there. Yin is a very gentle and passive practice, so if at any time you need to come down and rest, if your low back doesn't like this, then go ahead and do that. You can come to crocodile pose. You can lower down, stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. And maybe you need to do that for a couple breaths and return to the pose. Or maybe you stay there until the next pose. All right, about 30 more seconds in seal pose. Maybe if you're in crocodile, you want to revisit seal right at the very end. Maybe just notice the difference, whether you've been holding it the whole time or have taken breaks. Notice the difference after you've been holding it for 3 minutes versus right at the beginning as you adjusted into this shape. All right, let's release down and let's all come to crocodile if you're not there already. You can stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. Soften the entire back line of your body. Now soften the entire front line of your body. Make sure that your head is really heavy on your hands and that your breath is just flowing freely and smoothly. Maybe notice your thoughts. Yin can really bring up a lot of mental noise sometimes. The idea is to just notice it and let it be, because we don't spend a lot of time often holding postures or sitting in stillness and quiet for any length of time. So just notice what comes up. Let's move on to our next posture now. So go ahead and come all the way up, come to a seated position. We're going to take 2 variations of Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together. And then for the first variation, draw your heels in. And then press your elbows down onto your knees and hinge forward. So we're going to get a nice stretch here. And we're not going to be here for very long until we move into the passive variation. Okay, so just feel that nice stretch, the active stretch as we release into the more passive variation of Baddha Konasana. Okay, we're gonna hold Baddha Konasana for butterfly pose for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna move into a diamond shape. All right, so go ahead and just release your hands out in front of you. Arms are heavy, and then you can kind of roll forward and just release the top of your head down toward your toes. So more passive here. You're not like pulling on your heels. You're not extending your spine. You're just rolling over your legs. Okay, so we're opening up the back and the hips and the inner thighs. Once again, as you continue to hold, notice your breath, notice your thoughts. If your thoughts are getting really scattered, just come back to your intention. It's a great way when we set an intention at the beginning of our practice to come back to it again and again and again. Just remembering why we came to our mat today, why we're here in the first place. Even in moments of discomfort. That can be physical discomfort or mental discomfort, or sometimes the two accompany one another. All right, we are going to move into a diamond shape. So all you're going to do is extend your feet forward and look down at your legs. Make sure you have a diamond shape here. Okay, we're going to come into that passive fold again, and it's just going to get into a different section of your hips so you can roll down. Now your forehead is going to come behind your heels. Okay, and we're just going to be here for 1 more minute. So this will be a total of a 3-minute hold, just with a couple of different variations. Just about 30 more seconds here. Try to really release. Release any of that holding on that you're doing in your body. Just soften, 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 soften the breath, soften the mind, soften the body. Okay, let's come all the way back up. I'm just gonna take my hands behind my back and just open my chest and just make a different motion with the spine there. All right. So we're gonna move into a side bend and a forward bend. So you're going to extend your right leg out to the right, bring your left foot to your right inner thigh, and then go ahead and face your left knee. You're gonna bring your right hand toward your left knee and then reach your left arm up and over toward your right toes. All right, so this is the extension of the shape, the full extension of the shape. Now, you can hold here, just rolling that shoulder open, or you can release into it, resting your arm down and resting your head down towards your knee. So I'm kind of giving you the choice here, a little bit more of an active variation with the hope that you can soften into it as we hold it, or the passive variation where you're just kind of like sliding over that right leg, resting your head down towards your shoulder. So just feel that whole stretch on the left side of the body. Okay, now feel the stretch in your right hamstring. And just notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. Try to release into the posture and just notice your body letting go and letting in new space, new openness. Okay, we're about halfway there for a 3-minute hold on this side. If you'd like to move from the side bend to the forward bend, you're just gonna face toward your right toes, and you can just kind of roll over your right leg, bringing your forehead now toward your knee instead of your shoulder, toward your knee. So it's just a different stretch. The active variation would be to reach toward your foot, but the passive variation would be just to roll over and just bring your forehead in the direction of your knee with no force or effort. If your hamstring is really tight, you can always have your knee bent and you can just rest your forehead on your knee and maybe you straighten it out just a little bit more. These are all just options for you. So you want to make this posture, this shape, work for your body. Okay, so we're not trying to force ourselves into something that is painful or doesn't work. We all have different bodies and we have to modify for our bodies. Okay, we've got about 30 more seconds, whichever variation you're in on this side. So focusing on that left body opening and the right hamstring opening. All right, let's release and we're gonna move to the other side. So you wanna move slowly out of these long holds. Sometimes in Yin Yoga, you can hold postures as long as up to 7 minutes. So we're gonna switch sides. So we're obviously not doing that in this class because we wanna fit in a couple of postures before we end our class. So we're gonna take the side bend first. You're gonna bring your left hand towards your right knee and your right hand up toward your left toes, up and over. So you're stretching through your right side. Just having that reach. And then just like with the other side, you can continue to reach toward those toes, maybe grab onto those toes, or you can take the more passive variation where you just rest your hand down, your right hand down on the floor and rest your ear toward your left shoulder. So just nice stretch through the right side. And then you can notice the stretch in your left hamstring as well, the back of your left leg. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. You can come back to your intention if that helps you focus on why you're doing this. Why are you here? Why are you in this stretch right now in this moment? I think we all have different reasons for coming to our mats and participating in our yoga practice. I know for me, it changes every day. Sometimes I'm looking for a little more mental peace or clarity. Sometimes I'm looking for kind of more of a workout. Sometimes I'm looking for more flexibility and openness in my body. So it's different every day. All right, so you can continue to hold here. We're almost halfway through this hold. Or if you want to take it to the forward bend, you can face your shoulders now toward your left toes. And again, the active stretch would be to be reaching toward that foot. But we have the option here of taking more of the passive variation, where you're just gonna let your foot be soft and you're gonna roll over your left leg. And let your arms be soft. Let your head be heavy. And again, like I said on the other side, if your hamstring is tight or not cooperating, you can bend your leg, just rest your forehead on your knee. And then maybe throughout your hold, you can extend your leg a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And again, in this yin practice, the goal, there's no goal really. The goal is not to touch your forehead toward your knee. We're just moving that direction. We just want that shape in our body. Okay, we've got about 30 more seconds for a 3-minute hold on this side. So we've opened the right side of the body and the left hamstring, the bottom of the left leg. And of course our back. I mean, let's not forget the back line of the body as we forward fold over that left leg. All right, let's make our way out from this side, nice and slow, nice and slow. All right, gather up your legs, place your feet on the floor, and then you can just wrap your arms around your legs and then bring your forehead towards your knees. We're not holding here, we're just gathering everything in because we're all stretched out and elongated. So it's just a counter pose. Okay, we're gonna take one more posture before Shavasana. So let's roll onto our backs. It's gonna be a twist. So we're gonna hold it for 3 minutes in total, but a minute and a half on each side. So roll onto your back, gather up your knees. Just take a loose grip, not a tight grip, and then guide both knees to the right. You can have them stacked. Just kind of roll to the right. And then you're gonna release your shoulder and your left arm to the left. So again, we're not forcing anything to happen here. Just let everything hang heavy. Just let everything rest. So if it's comfortable for you to rest your right hand on your left knee, do that. If it's comfortable to have your left shoulder on the floor, do that. If it's comfortable to extend your left arm long, you can do that. Gaze can be up at the ceiling, over to your left. Eyes can be open or closed. Notice your breath. Notice your awareness of your body. Things really shift in these longer holds. Okay, so we created a little bit of heat and energy at the beginning of class, allowing us to stretch and release in the last half of our class. I think it's a nice combination of the two styles of yoga. Just a little taste of each for your day. got about 30 more seconds on this side. Is your body soft? Are you holding on to anything? Just notice, and then if you are like having tension in your hands or maybe your jaw, maybe your forehead, can you just relax and release that here? All right, let's switch to the other side, nice and slow. You're gonna come up through center, and then loose hold on your knees as you guide them to the left. Just relax them down on the floor. You can kind of roll onto the left side and then bring your right arm back to the right. Rest your right shoulder down, look to the right, or you can look up toward the ceiling. Close your eyes. Okay, now notice here if you're holding on to anything. You might have gotten into the pose and you're pressing your knee down or trying to extend your arm really long. Now, can you just relax and release that? There's no goal here. There's no perfect shape. We're just twisting the spine. We're opening the chest. We're breathing into all parts of the body. And we're noticing our thoughts. You came here to practice yoga. This class is almost over. Can you just be here now, not rushing off to the next thing? We only have one more pose in class. It's Shavasana. So just be here now. Be on your mat. Notice your body. Notice your breath. Come back to your intention. All right, that was a 3-minute hold on our twist. So let's come back to center and prepare for Shavasana. Little squeeze of your knees here, and then just release your legs long. Kind of started the yin part of our class in this Shavasana shape. So we're coming back to it. So maybe, since we're coming back to the same shape, can you notice the difference in how you feel now as opposed to how you felt the first time you laid down on your back after your vinyasa practice, that powerful practice where we held planks and side planks and balancing poses and standing poses before we moved into this more passive section where we stretched the body, released the body, and just came into total awareness of the breath and the body and that connection that we make in our yoga practice. That's why this practice is unique and different from other physical activities. We get to meld the mind, the body, the spirit, the breath, which is the force that keeps all of these things together and thriving. This is what we can do before we make our way off of our mat into our day or our evening to create more peace and harmony and balance in our own personal lives. If you have the time, I invite you to rest in Shavasana, rest in silence, rest in stillness. If you're ready to move on with your day, you can join me in a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Return to your intention. Why did you come to your mat today? Return to that thought, that phrase. Breathe in, hold it in. Release through your mouth as you close your practice. And today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. From my heart to each and every one of yours,